Hello and welcome. Welcome back to my channel, guys, and welcome back to another FNAF lore video. Guys, I make these FNAF lore videos because I want to put my own twist and my own taste on what I think the lore is. I use my imagination and my own version of what I see and I understand to make these lore videos because I want to put my own mark in the FNAF universe. Now, I do make two versions of the video, one for kids and one that you could actually put comments down below. Now, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support. And at the end of the video, if you agree or disagree or see anything, you could comment below on the second version of the video, guys. Thank you so much. By the way, this is a very unique creation I'm looking at right here. This is Withered Spring Bonnie, guys. Withered Spring Bonnie. He looks really cool. He's only in this version of the game that I've seen so far. But let's not take too much time, guys. By the way, guys, this game I recorded the intro in is called New and Rebranded FNAF Roleplay Bonnie. As you can see right here, it's created by Fazbear Funtime Services. That's the same creators of Return to Animatronica. I did not know you cannot find this game on console. I think it's just on devices and VR, apparently. I am here for you, and I hope you are here for me. And now, let us start the video. All the way back in FNAF 1. I'm talking about 2014 when FNAF first came out, all the way back then. What if I tell you that since the very beginning there were already hints that FNAF World existed, and it was right in front of our face all this time? It was always there, and we just never noticed. Or we did, but we never made the connection. Every game we ever play is played from the perspective of just sitting in some kind of office, especially security offices. But one way or another, all the way until Pizzeria Simulator, it's always been just sitting down in an office. And they always tell the actual story in another form. Ever since the original FNAF, all the way up till modern day VR games, all the FNAF games always, absolutely always have arcade games. There is simply no version of FNAF where there's not an arcade. There's an arcade in every FNAF, no matter which one you're playing. Once again, this is the game not too long ago came out into the pit, and here's the arcade, and you can see their FNAF themed arcades. Look at Bonnie, look at Freddy. It's always FNAF. We find some surprising titles. Catch That Fetch. And here we have what looks like a dog. Fruity Maze. Well, that's from Pizzeria Simulator. Midnight Motorist. these games are always part of the story. And that's what they all have in common. Not only the fact that they are themed around FNAF, not the fact that they're always in every FNAF game. Just like the story of the marionette, all the stories in the FNAF world have been told through arcade games. And one common thing with these arcade games is that they always glitch. So we know the animatronics are designed by William and Henry. But who is making these games? Who is the programmer? Who is the creator of these games? Anim dude. Who's Anim dude? Scott Cawthon is a former video game developer and writer. He is the creator of the Five Nights at Freddy's media franchise, which began with the development of the eponymous survival horror game in 2014.
Then I could sit back and maybe enjoy making an RPG, and spend a couple of years on it, and just make something really nice, kind of, that looked like the Desolate Hope, really make some nice 3D models for it. And I had to make something more lighthearted. And in hindsight, what I should have done is, I should have used that for a troll game, or I should have, made something like, Foxy Fighters. I should have just done something that was obviously for fun and not tried to somehow tie it in to a canon game.
But there's also the digital devil. The digital devil is not like the rest, but it's just like the name suggests. And at the end of Pizzeria Simulator, we see a reference. So we know that at the end of Pizzeria Simulator, they burned the place down to get it over with once and for all. Get rid of all the animatronics, everything. And at the end of the game, they do give a message. And I'm gonna play that message for you.
To you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace and perhaps more waiting for you after this moment. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend.
Well, there you go. He says, for some of you, there's hope. There's a place, right? And that place, specifically, I think, is FNAF World. That's where they go. Because in my opinion, inside FNAF, always, since the beginning, the games have been a great part of the story. FNAF World has always existed within the games. They've always been there. From the very beginning, you play the game and then you play the game within the game. It's just a part of the story, and it has always been a part of the stories. But then he says there's a deep, dark pit waiting for one of you, and don't keep the devil waiting. So he can only be talking about one person, one devil. My name is Old Man Consequences. On top of all of that, we know if we continue the story towards security breach, we know that this pizzeria location ends up in the bottom of security breach. We end up working our way through the whole pizzaplex that was built on top of this burnt location, making our way down here and finally reaching the glitch trap. And over here, what do we have? Glitchy maze with glitch trap. Well, and throughout the history of the games, one game stands out more than the others. One game that says a unique story. Princess Quest 1, 2, and 3 just expands on a kingdom in another world where a glitch happens. A princess and a king, and the princess fights the glitch. Alright, let's do it. There's another door with a glitch. Door is shut. Oh! It's a security room. What? It's the office. What? Oh. How do I attack? Whoa, guys. This is all of a sudden Princess is in the pizzeria, pizzaplex. So now what? What am I doing? Princess Quest 3, guys. Oh, wait! Wait, beast! Oh no, I don't like the... What is this? What is this? This? What? No. What? What? You are having fun. What? No, wait, this is an ending? Princess Quest 3? Did it. Did it. Just the fact that Gregory affected Vanny and all the robots in real life through playing a game says everything. Everything that happens out there has an effect in here. Do you understand? FNAF World. FNAF World was a game released on 2016, on January 2016. And then it got actually pulled off the shelves because of bad reviews. Unfortunately, nobody really liked it when the game came out. But throughout the years, the game has developed a niche fan base. Fan base that apparently I'm part of now, because I have really gotten to love this game. The game re-released on Android on 2017, so apparently you could play it in your phone, and you still have access to the game. But in iOS, it never released. Everything else was actually cancelled. So FNAF was a game that Scott Cawthon decided to make a spin-off, basically an RPG, but there's nothing he does that is not for a reason. He always does everything for a reason. So in his head, he made FNAF World, and that's why. This is where they are. These are the end. This is the story of the characters within the digital world. So FNAF World basically is you take a team and you lead it deeper into a digital world to find the source of these glitches and monsters and restore what was to be designed a safe haven. So basically, this is where this was meant to be like a safe haven for all these spirits. But we already know about FNAF World, and there's plenty of videos out there talking about FNAF World. I'm here to talk to you why we return to FNAF World. And we go into FNAF World, return to animatronica right here, where we actually are returning. So here they are. All our friends are here in FNAF World, and we could return to animatronica and visit them and see all our friends from FNAF 1, from FNAF 2, all the toys, all of them, all the wizards. FNAF 3, you can see all the nightmares. And you can see right here. Here he is. Springtrap himself. Trapped in here. He's right there. You could also see everybody from FNAF 4. Everybody from sister location. They're all here, guys. Just living their life. Even the AR animatronics made their way to this paradise, to this world beyond worlds. When we enter the game begins similar to the first game. Fazbear introduces the world and claims an unknown villain is attacking again, and his friends are getting turned evil once again. Therefore, you as Freddy Fazbear and friends must go through every location until facing the final boss. So that's the layout of the story. But if you go in FNAF World Return to Animatronica, you come into the world and everybody's pretty much living their life here. This is their world. They have their houses. They're all around, and you talk to each and every one of them, and they have their own problems. You go around and you solve those problems for them, and they join your team. So that's pretty much how this is. You could talk to them and see that they all are suffering something. and you just help them out and acquire more and more companions as you go. Now, the nightmares just happen to be bullied by some monsters, and by defeating those world bosses, because that's what the monsters are, by fighting these world bosses, you unlock the nightmares. So it's pretty much a recreation of the original game with a few differences. For example, one of those differences is actually that if you look in the distance, the giant pizzaplex, it's right there. In the original FNAF, the pizzaplex was not a thing, and therefore it is my theory that the new FNAF games are actually merging with the original FNAF world. So as you can see right here, the last game that came out, well, not the last game, but one of the newer games was Security Breach. And if you see right here, we have the Superstar Arcade. And right in that corner over here, we see Glam Rock Chica, which is one of the new introductions. She did not exist in FNAF World, yet here she is. And if you play the Security Breach, you know that those characters eventually find their end. And where do they go? Well, just like all the other characters, they go to FNAF World to live in their own little heaven, their own little world. And if you actually explore, if we go inside, here we go once again, another arcade. A whole bunch of games within a game, within a game, within a game, and it never ends. This is a safe place, a sanctuary. The truth is, there is no safe place. Now that we're here in the Fright Fest area, so let's talk to Scarecrow Chica right here. Created hell of its own. Created hell of its own. I only talked to Chica once and she gave us exactly what we needed. There it is. Created hell of its own. A damnation never known. So that is the lore. Created hell of its own. A damnation never known. If you explore the map, you will find dark figures, like basically hellish creatures behind cages in this world, basically waiting for the cage to open to feast on and prey. Just like these characters are out and free to catch our friends that are collecting candy right here in Fright Fest. So if you walk around, you will find a few of those characters locked behind cages. This right here, it's a type of hell, which is, and it ties into the story we about to find out. One very important detail that Scott Cawthon put in the FNAF World games, including this one, which is a fan-made game, is a lot of graves. All this is on purpose. They added graves to the world of FNAF World on purpose. And it's all for a reason, guys. It's all for a reason. It's part of the clues to solve this mystery. Now, this is the point where it's gonna get really dark. Guys, not only are they tombstones all over representing people that died, but in the world of FNAF World, even Return to Animatronica, we have souls. The crying child is a soul, guys. It's a soul, a human soul, trapped in this world? Why is there a human soul in this world? If everybody is an animatronic, why is there a human soul? Well, we know why the animatronics are here. Because they all have human souls. Thanks to William Afton, all the animatronics have human souls trapped within them, part of them. And this explains why our characters are all here. And the connection they have is that they all have souls. But how did they get here? How? Well, if we dig deep enough into the code of this virtual reality where all the souls are trapped, I used to think this was a paradise. I used to think this was a place where all our friends used to come to live their happy lives. Unfortunately, by discovering the true identity of Old Man Consequences here, I came to the realization that this is not a paradise. This is a hellscape. A place where all the souls are trapped, especially the soul of William Afton, also known as Springtrap. He is here, powerless to escape. And these souls are all here on purpose. Old Man Consequences here is not an alligator. He looks like an alligator, but in reality, he's a reptile. A red dragon, to be specifically. And you know who the red dragon is? The red dragon, it's a god called Yaldabaoth, the red dragon, also known as AKA It's Me, the devil from the Bible. That is Yaldabaoth. He is the dragon, and he is fishing. He's fishing for souls. Those souls in particular that were murdered by William Afton. This is the hell that was created, that the chica from the Frights Nights explains. That's the rhyme. A hell created on its own. This is the hell. This is the demon. This is the world that was created. A virtual world. That's why the rainbow is so important in FNAF World. Because this is the virtual reality where the souls lie. Virtual reality that existed since the very first game. They've always been there. Games, it's always been part of the game. A game within a game. Trapping, waiting patiently to fish those souls in to this game. There's something hidden. Is there something hidden that we never found out about the FNAF lore? Was everything always some kind of ritual for the Red Dragon? Was there a pact made? Why are all these souls trapped here? It goes so deep. So right here, now that I'm in the menu, guys, you could clearly see there's Springtrap. It's Springtrap. And he's all covered in guts, basically. So that is him. That is legitly him. Just like he was in the real world.
I always come back.
And here he is. Here he is. I can't move. And right here we have the crying child. You see the crying child? The crying child, like I said, the crying child is a soul. Now, something that I noticed that I don't think anybody talks about, and we have this character right here called the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit, if you look down here, he's basically a Shadow Freddy. In this version, he's called the Vengeful Spirit. So it's a spirit with vengeance. I think all these characters are in this game because they're spirits that want vengeance, obviously. But what nobody is really talking about is that all the characters are here at the same time. So a way to control entity is by splitting them into smaller pieces. That way is easier to control. So right here we have the classics, right? We got Freddy. Come on, we got Freddy, but we also, in the same world at the same time, we have the toy versions of them. The thing about it is that Freddy doesn't stop existing. Freddy and Toy Freddy and Withered Freddy's and Nightmare Freddy's, they're all inhabiting the same world at the same time. And not for nothing, there's only one Freddy. And in this world, Freddy was split into different parts of himself. You could break down the sins into anger, greed, lust, and you break them down into their different, but if you put all the sins together, they make one creation, a most powerful one, because they're all one. But by separating them, you depower them, because they're separated in so many different ways and so many different personalities. One soul divided into many tiny fractions, so they don't have the power to fight back. You understand? So they don't have the power. And Old Man Consequences, Yaldabaoth, has been collecting all these souls, making a huge collection and making sure he fractures them into many different forms. Now, some of these souls has clearly turned into dark entities right here. Clearly has turned super dark, because they're in the underworld. These friendly characters are eventually gonna be transformed into very dark characters, and we've seen how our characters in the FNAF world has actually turned darker and grimmer. I also want to send some love for the team of FNAF RTA. They have shown me so much love, guys. They really went a step further than I ever expected. I appreciate them so much. I just want to say thank you so much, guys. Here's the team of the RTA. We should really show our gratitude. Make sure you don't only visit, but you like the game. That really matters, guys. And we're so close to reach the 8 million visits. And you know we're getting a new character when that happens, because they always do this, guys. Thank you so much to you guys, the team of RTA. You guys are awesome. You get the seal of approval of being awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, I remind you to press that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content I put out. I put out constant updates about the game. I do secret tutorials, character tutorials, and show you everything you need to know about FNAF World Return to Animatronica. I hope you enjoyed this video. I put it together with some of my theories and some of my ideas of just tying the game in to the world of FNAF, because I believe it deserves it. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you so much, and I appreciate you for subscribing to my channel. You guys have been awesome, and a lot of you have been subscribing, and that really pushes me to keep pushing into the FNAF lore and learning more and more about this amazing world. Thank you guys so much. But remember, at the end of the game, this is just a... We are still friends. Do you believe that? The pieces are in place for you. All you have to do is find them. Rest. The end.